So I guess I'm just gonna follow the format that you gave me, Brad. And there was a story an experience that I had when I first moved to New York. It was about almost a year in, and I was in an acting class, and I met this girl, and it was a very cosmic sort of coming together, and we secretly dated for, I don't know, 8 or 9 months. And we had just finished the first year of this 2 year conservatory together, and she sort of pumped the brakes because she was beginning to feel very much about the two of us, and she didn't want to go through the second year with that, I guess, extra weight of emotions. She just wanted to go through the 2 year without having to deal with the complexities of a relationship. So I guess in some way I understood that, but I took it really, really hard, and I had to go through that second year sitting next to her in the same class 2 nights a week, and it was very difficult for me. And I remember one day I was walking around, I was heading for the train, and I saw her on a date with another guy, and she saw me, and it was kind of this moment of panic came over my face, and I tried to bottle it up. And I remember she called me and said it's not what it looks like, but it was. And I was trying to put my mind at ease with it, but I couldn't shake it. And I got on the train to go home. And I remember when the door closed, I just started to break down. Um, and that was like one of the first times where I had felt the pressure of living in New York, and feeling heartbreak and confusion and anger and resentment all at the same time. And it was about 6 stops for me to go from where I was to home. And I remember I was crying, but it was one of those, it wasn't those audible cries. It was that muffled sort of trying to keep it down from coming out kind of cries where, you get tight mouthed, and the tears, they just keep flowing down the same tear paths over and over and over. I tried not to move. I just held on to the pole, and I couldn't get to my destination fast enough. Well, finally, I get to where I'm supposed to get off, and the doors open, and I remember there's a packed subway car, so I was trying to get out, and I just feel somebody tap me on my shoulder, and I turned, and it was a complete stranger. I had no idea who he was, never met him before, and he just looked me in the eyes, and he said, "It's gonna be okay, man. It's gonna be okay." And when he said that, I remember just like a really, it was just brimming over with the emotion. So I was like, I said thank you, but I was like really starting to cry now. And I mean, that was all it took for me to know that it was going to be okay. And he had no idea what I was going through, but that one act of kindness where, he didn't have to say that. He didn't have to kind of touch me and look at me in the eyes and reassure me that things were going to be better. I don't know, maybe he had seen that look on my face, and knew what I was going through, and wanted to kind of reassure someone else, like maybe someone reassured him. But that was a real moment for me, when a real moment of kindness, when someone took the time out to to talk to a stranger, a complete stranger. And if I ever see him again, I mean, that face of his is implanted in my brain. If I ever see him again, I'm gonna make sure to tell him how much those words meant to me. If he even remembers who I am, probably not. But that for me is the tale I'd like to share with you and everybody else. So kindness does exist, and sometimes in the face and the words of a stranger. So, and in New York, there are those people here too. So, thank you for listening.